guys, it's Kayla.
And Jim.
And welcome back to a very special Christmas edition of Meteorology Monday. As you can see, the garland has been hung. I know it's crooked, don't say anything. It's fine.
It's fine.
Ornaments are not... You know what? I'm only on halfway through my first cup of coffee. He hasn't had any coffee today. This is the background that we have.
And I've got a cold.
And he has a cold. Which is a perfect segue. What is the name of the movie that we're reacting to?
It's perfect. And the movie title is Cold Zone, which came out in 2017, I believe.
Yes.
And it features...
I have my glasses on.
We gotta do the whole thing over.
I was wondering why I could like clearly see everything. Okay. I have taken my glasses off. Dad still has a cold.
I still have a cold.
The garland is still crooked. We're gonna dive into some clips of this movie. It was suggested by one of you. At this point, I think you guys are just looking for us to suffer.
And we will gladly suffer for you.
We will. It was an hour and 25 minutes of our lives. We have some thoughts, we have some opinions, we have some clips.
But before we get started.
That's right! If you find that you are enjoying this video along the way, be sure to drop a like and subscribe down below so you never miss the next Meteorology Monday. It is the holiday season, so if you are looking for the perfect weather gift to give the weather enthusiast in your life, look no further than our School of Weather. It is about 2 hours total, 11 videos, comes with a walkthrough PDF guide, and it teaches you the basics of meteorology, gets into the nitty-gritty of severe weather and how it forms, and teaches you a lot of the same topics that you would learn in a college level intro class if that weather enthusiast in your life doesn't feel like going to college or wanting to spend the money and time on that. School of Weather is a great alternative, so if you want to check that out, it'll be the top link in the description box.
I like the earrings.
Thank you! Very festive. Oh, if you hear him sneeze in the middle of our reaction.
Oh.
You didn't.
But I'm doing this for you!
Drop a like for Dad, okay? Subscribe so you get content when he's not sick, when he's sick, all the time, you know?
Doing it for the people.
For the people.
That's right. And if you would like to see more ornaments hanging from Kayla's ears, go ahead and like and comment below. And subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe because look, you can see ornaments dangling from ears. And if you'd like to see me wear ornaments. No, just kidding.
Leave a like! Going from this train wreck of an intro to a train wreck of a movie.
Are we ready to look at this thing?
I think we're ready. Let's go. Okay. Out in the snow, what could possibly go wrong? Did that say the temperature is minus 41 degrees?
That is not a good omen.
They've lost everything.
They have. So it's minus 41 Fahrenheit. The wind be whipping. He's frozen, okay? He is horrifically underdressed. What is that?
Looks like an avalanche.
It does. Get inside. We took okay, your eyeballs are now frozen. The dew point is minus 7?
Drop that fast.
Temperature is minus 60, but the dew point's minus 7. We are so oversaturated.
They're just living in a block of ice.
This thing's not working.
How come? Okay, so
Dad,
the
That's
cold
the radio waves now.
messing up
Come
radio
back.
waves? Minus 70! The dew point dropped 1 more degree, okay.
Look at that. Brad, you copy?
He didn't copy the first time, he's just standing
Just
there.
open the door and yell out to him.
Oh my gosh, he's 4 feet from the door! There we go. It's minus 79 degrees Fahrenheit and you have no coats on! Very day after tomorrow.
Yes.
There he goes! Get up!
It didn't even hit him yet.
Froze beforehand. Okay, just... Oh, okay, that's a hurricane.
All right, so let's talk about this. Let's
break it down.
Let's break it down.
Break it down.
We're talking about 3 temperature sensors. They start failing or whatever, but somehow we're still getting temperature readings. The temperature drops, but the dew point remains the same. The temperature usually doesn't crash through the dew point and keep going in the complete opposite direction, because when you've got your temperature and you're cooling down a parcel of air, and it gets to a point where dew starts to form, or cloud particles start to form, that temperature is the dew point temperature. So at that point, the humidity is 100%, and then processes that continue will form clouds, precipitation, etc., etc. So we've cooled down to the dew point, and that's how normal processes work. There's instances where you can get the temperature below the dew point to be supersaturated, but not 70 degrees below the dew point. Maybe a degree, but not 70 degrees. And that is very hard to supersaturate for an extended period of time.
Yes.
Usually it just stays at saturation.
Yes.
So the sensors having the temperature drop, but the dew point didn't drop, they missed that right there.
They did. Well, I mean, maybe we'll put it as an accidental win for Hollywood because it means that the sensors are broken, which is what they were trying to convey, right? However, then they came back online, so maybe it wasn't a win. Either way, you see the temperature. Okay, let me walk you through my thought process. If I see that the temperature has dropped to minus Antarctica degrees Fahrenheit, I am not running outside with naught but a thin sweater upon myself. This is ridiculous. They should have all frozen instantly when they walked outside. They're all dead of hypothermia. Nothing else matters. You just go full Metallica on this.
It is possible that that sensor that was dropping was where this cold pocket was.
Okay.
And he was standing at one of the other sensors that was still reading minus 40 or something like that. Maybe.
Either way, put on a scarf.
How did they know an urgency to get up and run because the temperature was going down unless that was the sensor he was at, which then explains why he would be very underdressed, takes the goggles off, it's a sunny day, look around, it's great, and dew point remains the same. Anyways, how about we move on to clip number 2?
Let's go to the next one. We are back at that station that the people just did that at, with 2 new characters. Trying to see what has happened at this weather observation station.
Didn't the generator kicked in?
Maybe it's frozen.
Yeah.
Did everything warm back up?
Right.
So there's no
defrost.
puddles of water on the floor, there's no ice on the floor.
Oh, it's day after tomorrow.
Frozen solid.
How's that even possible?
I don't know. But right now I think we need to worry about it happening again and not how it happened.
Think we better get that generator started. Fire up the computers to see if they recorded anything.
Take this walkie.
Okay, so establishing a relationship with a previous doctor of science that was in the field, and with a current doctor of science that's in the field, and they're teaming up together and discovering as they go.
Oh, let me throw in that the doctor who was up there being a hermit by himself is there because, oh my gosh, climate change and the world is going to freeze, but they don't listen to me, so I must run away, banish myself to Alaska because nobody's gonna listen to me, a lowly scientist. Oh, the government, oh, the people, nobody believes me. That's the guy with the hat on. That's his MO.
So the same person that said climate change was going to freeze the world, I'm going to go to the coldest location in the world instead of going to the tropics to get away from it.
Personally, Cabo sounds great. Oh, closer up shot of hurricane, because
Rotating clockwise.
It is. I did notice that. That was a. Huh. Ooh, power's restored.
Wait a minute.
Whoa,
wait a minute.
What? Huh?
It's just flickering.
Roger. Roger, you gotta get inside now. The temperatures are plummeting.
Well, isn't that okay?
And the dew point still didn't move.
Still didn't move.
Definitely day after tomorrow vibes.
Shift direction.
Great movie, by the way.
Better than this one. Why are we still standing still?
How is the flag is what?
The flag is pointing towards the storm. Why is it the wind coming towards? Do not burn the books. Don't do. Okay. We're burning logs instead of books. They got something better than day after tomorrow.
So our sensors have sensed the temperature dropping again. Dew
have.
point remains constant, so we are supersaturating once again at about, I don't know, 30 feet above the ground. But you know, the wind is blowing, but he's standing there. There's nothing going on. He has no effects of it being 70 below zero. The smoke monster, we'll call him, is way off in the distance trying to make his way. If that's copyrighted, we'll call it something else. The cold monster is trying to make his way to the weather station.
Yep.
And yet the temperature is dropping miles ahead of it, and it's just not making sense. So we're just going to go with it. That's the way they've decided to write it.
Yep, that's how it is.
We will move forward. Next clip.
According to the data collected by the weather monitoring equipment before it went out, suggests that we're experiencing an upper atmospheric cyclonic event. Could be stratospheric, maybe mesospheric.
What?
I don't know. It's unprecedented.
This is what's dropping temperature so quickly?
Air is being pulled up into upper reaches of the atmosphere. It's getting super cooled. As it cools, it gains density and drops back down to the earth, and there's a sub-freezing blast of wind. It's like a pinwheel, blowing tendrils of cold off of a fan.
That's why it's not hitting ever at once. It's tendrils. Otherwise, people would have noticed.
Exactly. It's not setting off fires because it appears isolated. But it's not.
That's the same image!
Should hit at 2:06 a.m. It's gonna last 10 minutes and 15 seconds. We are in the center, the most intense part of the storm.
If that's the case, then Pemberton could get hit too.
Yeah, the tail end. But it won't be as cold there as it is here, at least not yet.
So we're gonna be okay here.
For now.
Pause it here! I can take no more!
There's a number of things wrong here.
Hang on. I've lost the ability to even... I cannot...
Here we go.
Okay. Back it up, organize the thoughts. Here we go. They're in the center of the storm, but it's the tendrils that have the things. Well, if they're in the center of the storm, then how are the tendrils causing chaos?
That's right.
Oddly specific time. We're gonna branch over that for now. An upper atmospheric vent from the stratosphere or mesosphere is causing the air to go up and super cool by 800 degrees apparently, and then it is going to sink again in a blast of wind. Did I catch everything?
Difference between this, their scientific thing, and day after tomorrow. With day after tomorrow, they had the air sinking from the center of the storm down and super cooling. Whereas this is the air is going up through the center, which why is there an I? They're right, rising air in the center of low pressure would go up and then would come out, and I could see the tentacles, okay, it organizes kind of like rain bands, things like that of a hurricane.
Yeah.
Okay, that structurally sounds a little bit more plausible.
Yes.
But
Their hurricane is going clockwise though.
yes.
Carry on.
So taking it a step further, when you have a massive amount of air coming into a smaller area, the eye, it has a tendency to need to accelerate through the column. You're doing mass transport of a lot of air. When it reaches the top and it starts to fan out, the wind speed starts to decrease. So as wind speed decreases and then the air starts to sink, you now start getting adiabatic processes that warm that air up. To have it super cooled all the way to the surface again very fast is opposite of what we observe in real meteorology today.
Yes.
So there's some sciencey things here that they're putting together. It's not, now there are things like, well, a thunderstorm can drop cooler winds, you know, or cooler temperatures like a downdraft,
Yeah.
you know, so they're kind of playing on that. I get that, but with it comes to this situation that's a thunderstorm with a hurricane-like systems, hurricanes pull in a lot of air, even in the tendrils of, let's say, the rain bands. Yeah, you can get cooler air that's coming down, but not super cooled.
Correct.
It's not like that. That's where the science kind of went sideways here for me.
Can we go back? Okay, well, we're gonna pause on that for a second. It's expanding, it's growing, it's yada yada, it's oh my gosh, it's coming from the mesosphere, it's turning into this huge thing. That is the same image of a hurricane that they have been using this entire movie that is not showing us anything, it is not growing. So how is this growing? How are the tendrils, or it's an octopus of cold air in the shape of a hurricane over Florida. Also, the air's not coming from from the mesosphere, okay? The mesosphere, it's not making its way down here. I don't care how super cool it is, how much the dew point and the temperature are separate. The mesosphere is not making it to ground.
Yeah, based on temperature profiles, it would be really hard to break the top of the stratosphere to bring it down through the stratosphere. Because...
And then break the tropopause to bring it from the stratosphere down to...
And forget all adiabatic processes starting in the mesosphere to heat that parcel of air coming all the way down to the surface.
There is thermodynamics going on.
Toss out thermodynamics.
Incorrect.
We don't need it.
Don't need it. What we do need is to find out what else happens.
Oh boy. Let's go to the next clip.
To the next one.
There's got to be some other way that we can combat it.
Roger. The cyclone up there is growing. More and more air is getting pulled up into it. Its frequency is increasing by 50% with each turn.
It's not increasing. That's a static image of the same hurricane.
The survival zones, the gaps between the tendrils, they're closing. It's becoming one giant blast.
Survival zones.
How long does the danger zone last? I mean, what's the duration of it?
The duration is increasing as well. As I said, the next one is 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Then 14 minutes and 32 seconds, and then 18 minutes and 80 seconds. I don't know.
18 minutes and 80 seconds.
By 4 minutes every single time.
Signs of a man that's truly given up in life.
You should have gone
In this
Cabo.
movie.
Weather is self-regulating, isn't it? I mean, it'll stabilize.
Weather is
eventually.
self-regulating.
There must be some kind of way
itself.
that we can accelerate that.
No, too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Got to be something that we can do to stop it.
Huh? What do you want me to do? Want to shoot a rocket into space? Blow up a nuke?
No, don't do that.
No one is looking for it. Not for this.
No one is looking for...
We got nothing.
hang on. Nobody's looking for this.
A hurricane over Alaska.
It doesn't show up on any National Weather Service office. The water vapors, the temperature. Nobody's registering this.
NWS Anchorage is going, nothing to see here.
Beautiful day. Beautiful day.
NWS Fairbanks going, nothing to see here.
But it's ever growing, so Canada did not see this.
Western Canada, nope. Nothing to see here.
1 second. We have an updated map. Hang on. Is that Australia?
That is Australia, South America, Africa, Greenland, and here's North America.
Hang on. They're supposed to be in the middle of this thing.
There's Florida.
But the temperature, we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna just go to the, hang on. This is the size of the Northern Hemisphere! Nobody's looking for this?
There is nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. This is a figment of your imagination. Continue as you were.
It doesn't even have the little tentacle things. The tentacle things are in freaking Australia, not Alaska. I don't even see Alaska, which means it's buried under the red somewhere, which means that they're all dead.
That's it. Everybody north of 40 degrees north is dead.
There's no safe survival zones. There's just, I mean, everybody could move to Peru. That's looking pretty safe for now.
Moving on.
Next one.
We can't stop the storm, but we can run from it.
Run from it.
At least we can try.
I thought he
What
said
are you talking about?
all hope was lost.
Hang out with that.
Well,
I'm going to stay here.
all hope
is
was
lost.
We can't.
Now we're going to make a run for
Okay.
it.
Just north of town.
8,000 feet.
8,000
Yeah,
feet.
that's right.
8,000 feet.
Yeah.
What?
Anywhere south of there, they could survive the storm. It's the only place they'll be safe, and it's a chance.
All right, I'm stopping it from here.
Okay.
I'm calling shenanigans. Look, there is no way that your instrumentation keeps going on and off. You can't sense the darn thing. You're actually able to determine the granularity of time, how long it's going to take, when it's going to take, the duration of the event. You can tell that below 8,000 feet, you're dead. Above 8,000 feet, you're good. But your sensors keep going off. Nothing's making sense. How are you getting this data to be able to say all these things if this guy is the only one on the planet that knows what's going on? How does he know all this information? He's the only one that's clued into this storm that's continuing to grow at 50% every turn.
100%.
And no, well, if it's growing horizontally, why wouldn't it grow vertically too? Why is 8,000 safe now? Why Why not 9? Why not 7?
Hang on, let's break that down for a second. Above 8,000 feet safe, right? But this is another atmospheric vent pulling cooled air down from the reaches of space, but somehow it's skipping. It's skipping here and it just settles on the surface because density. It has to go through here to get to the ground. There's not a portal up here that puts it here.
There's an element of density in this movie, of course.
Oh!
The science ain't sciencing. So
they started off with a couple words that made sense in one order, and quickly it has snowballed down the hill through a lower atmospheric vent, and it's out there somewhere. It's not coming back. The logic has left the building. What did you say? I believe your exact words while we watched this was, my ridiculous meter
it's gone off the charts.
Went off the charts. Honestly, put that on a t-shirt. What else could happen?
Let's watch the next clip.
The anti-cyclonic. Okay.
And there's cloud cover in the hole.
There is. Well, so long, London. Because what's a weather disaster movie without destroying the world's capitals?
That's right.
But I thought it was over North America. How did it get to Europe? It's the same image! It's the same image! It's the same image! It's over the same spot! It's the same image!
You guys have done this.
It's the same thing! Oh my gosh!
Hollywood, you have done this.
They're not even trying! What do I do? I leave? That's it?
Don't leave me to myself over here with this movie. I am not watching this again by myself. All right, ready? The death igloo.
All right, so it is coming because he knows that he has exactly, 42 seconds and 3 milliseconds before the storm hits. So he's on his bike in the middle of the wilderness and he's deciding to drop cloth it, and he has to create shelter for himself in the battery. It's the same image. And then we're going back, and now, well, we've reached Italy. So
it's already frozen.
It's already frozen. Okay, so this thing is moving from west to east because London is wester than Pisa.
Italy. Same
and,
thing.
Okay, so that's the same. The inside is still the same, so this thing has not moved, which means it must be growing. I want to know, from Alaska, shouldn't it reach Italy before it reaches London, going from east to west? What is he doing? It's so cold that he has to bury himself in snow and make himself a little death igloo. Okay, yeah, let's just... Now he's created a tunnel for it to go into. Nope, he's packing it. Surely he won't suffocate, right? Surely not. Oh, let's burn more oxygen. With the candle. That'll keep him warm. The candle. Put your hood up, dude. There we go. Maybe start with that.
Isn't the igloo gonna, like, melt and put the candle out?
It's just all gonna freeze. The logic has left. It's gone.
Minus 70 degrees is gonna come in. He's got a thin layer of igloo around him.
Logic.
Because everything is melted in theory.
The logic has gone to
Or in
Cabo.
reality, actually.
Yeah. I applaud his effort, but he's dead.
There was another movie that they were safe because of a candle.
There was.
A lamp. It was a lamp.
It was a lamp. I believe it was Christmas Ice Catastrophe.
Oh god.
Which we watched last Christmas.
We got those vibes as
you
well.
You want to see us cry on camera.
Next clip.
Come on, Candace, pick up.
Now he has cell service.
At least he was smart enough to take the battery with him.
That's true. Leave a voicemail, at least. He just hung up. What if your next call didn't go through?
Dad? Jordy? Nice, Dad. Nice nose shot.
Yes,
Sorry.
teen angst.
That's right.
Solid. You gotta stay inside, alright?
Have to stay
You hear
inside.
me?
I hear you.
This storm is gonna hit Pemberton at 11:06. Okay? It's gonna blow for
11:06.
18 minutes and 32 seconds.
What?
And you gotta be inside.
I thought it was 18 minutes and 80 seconds.
You gotta look for it, okay?
You could go out there 50 seconds early and freeze to death.
During that time period.
Yeah.
Got a message out to my family. You know enough now.
So the walkie-talkies work when they're miles apart.
Yes.
But when the dudes were 40 feet from each other, they didn't work.
No, of course not, because the air was super cold.
Even though it didn't hit them yet.
Semantics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save as many as you can.
Save as many as you can. He's gonna get the data
So
out.
make sure the actor that plays me in the movie is better looking than the actor that plays you.
Classic.
It's gotta be realistic.
Copy that.
Good luck to you, Roger.
That was
Best
funny.
part of the movie.
That was funny. How can he get signal above 8,000 feet in a weather observing station? A weather balloon! Of course!
That's right.
Weather balloons aplenty!
But let's think about this. So does the cable that he has, is it 8,000 feet long?
You're right. That spool of cable that he used was maybe 100 feet. We're not gonna touch that. That's not weather related. We'll move on. Just go. Just go. Keep going. All right. So we have made it treacherously, dangerously, stupidly, through plot, through ice, through death. We have made it to the helipad with the family. Okay, I'm setting you up for this last clip.
And that's just us, that's not the cast.
And the father this whole time has been like, I mean, what did he sacrifice? He sacrificed like 3 people at this point through the movie to get his family to safety. All with the notion of we need to get to the helicopter because it can fly above 8,000 feet. Yet at every turn he keeps saying that he has no idea how to fly a helicopter. What could possibly go wrong?
Hey, if you're gonna die, you might as well die trying, right?
I mean, honestly, frozen solid seems better than helicopter crash, but that might be my opinion, okay? I'm not gonna push that on anybody else.
You know, desperate times call for desperate measures. You make decisions and hope it works out for the best. Let's see what happens.
Chris Ray, kind of cool.
I'm full of surprises.
He was lying this whole time that he couldn't fly a helicopter? He can actually fly a helicopter? He could have saved so many people! He killed them all! Is this not supposed to be a fast-moving wind event?
People froze to death right in that spot.
Exactly.
Why isn't that helicopter frozen?
Nope. Helicopter should be frozen. Helicopter is escaping. Over the mountains. Good place to crash.
I've got all.
They're in it! They're in it! They're frozen! They're dead! That's it! The laws of the movie say they die!
That's it. That propeller
That's it!
should be
Frozen!
slowing down.
Frozen! Also, there's no insulation! They're all frozen to death! They have no hats! He has a hat.
They're just as insulated as that woman was in the truck. And she froze to death.
They all froze to death! They're not even wearing a blanket! What? At least stick to your logic!
We're clear. We're gonna be okay.
We're not gonna be okay. You're dead. Fever dream. Fever dream. I said it before in all the other weather movies. This is a fever dream. They're all dead. That's how weather movies go, okay? Within the first 3 minutes, we get some sciencey that doesn't make sense. We establish the laws of the world, and then we break them all. They're all dead.
Here's a really funny thing. So they are in Alaska, which is very mountainous, and the mountains are 10, 12, 14,000 feet tall.
They are large.
So this cold air, as it's descending from where it's going, you would think
You would. They do.
air acting like fluidity, like water. When you drop water from that height and it hits the ground and spreads out, it just kind of stays in the bowls, right? It doesn't flow over the mountains. It makes its way through and slows down as it's running into things eventually.
Friction.
It would eventually, you know, kind of stay within that valley location.
It should.
How this cold air gets there and does not bump up against the mountains just doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. It's going to hit and it's going to spread out like a downburst from a thunderstorm. It's just going to go in all directions and destroy everything that's under 8,000 feet in all directions. Well, wait a minute, we've got 14,000 foot mountains. How is this going to get over that 14,000 foot mountain? It won't get over that 14,000 foot mountain. And then you got the trees and you got everything else. You got so much friction. None of this is sciencing well. Technically, you can say, you know, if you go to 8,000 feet or above on any one of those mountains, you're safe.
Who's to say that they're not? Where does 8,000 feet start? They're above sea level.
It's
Also,
details.
we get very specific times in this movie. Alaska in the winter. Correct me if I'm wrong, should it not be dark?
It would.
It would be dark.
It would be dark.
It would be dark. None of it was dark.
If they are north of the Arctic Circle, they would be dark.
Would be dark.
Regardless of what time.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Not much daylight up there. Maybe the super cool has reflected the sun.
Oh, there you
And
go.
it's just creating an artificial day. If they can make up science, I can make up science.
Yep.
Okay, put it away. We're done. That's it. Movies ended. They live happily ever after in Cabo. Actually, I think they went to New Mexico. Props to them. But they did say that it's fine. All they had to last was 7 days because the storm would stable itself out after Mr. Sacrificial Lamb decided, nope, we cannot do anything. The storm, it will never go away. We're stuck in an ice age. He's very dramatic, that one.
Yeah.
7 days, the White House tells us. Upper atmospheric.
Last
cyclonic
thoughts.
spread. I don't know if I have the brain cells left. That was Cold Zone.
So usually, after we watch it, we go ahead and we base a movie on two things. Number one, the meteorological accuracy and what entertainment value it had on a scale from 1 to 10. That scale has been adjusted over time to reflect negative infinity to positive infinity.
No.
And-
Negative infinity to 10. It doesn't go higher than 10. But it does travel into the negative integers down there.
So in terms of meteorological accuracy, as we've completely torn this apart in this video, meteorological accuracy on a scale of negative infinity to 10, what would you say?
I mean, the representation for nothing is 0. But it's getting a bit crowded around that area.
Remember, we take the average of the total score, so...
You're gonna have to put it higher than 0 to average it higher. That's on you.
I give it a 1. Just because they talk about, okay, there's some super coolness, there's some processes, they have the processes better in terms of, compared to Day After Tomorrow,
Did you not
but
just
the
go on
end processes were wrong.
Entire rant about how they threw thermodynamics out the window.
They did, but they did get rising air and then coming out and then sinking air at the periphery.
Don't try
they
to
got
convince
that right.
me. All right.
But Day After Tomorrow did not. So I will give them a 1
Okay.
for that.
Well, if you're giving them a 1.
And being negative 70 degrees Fahrenheit, yes, you will freeze, you know, very quickly. 0.5 it is. All right.
5 it is! On the meteorological accuracy scale, entertainment-wise. Between last night and today, we have officially watched this movie twice, which is twice more than we should have. Where would you put it? Again, for me, if it's nothing, it's a 0.
I wouldn't watch it again, but, you know, it did have a decent plot to it but the acting really was not.
Put it this way, if you want Day After Tomorrow
Oh.
without Jake Gyllenhaal and investing into the plot, watch Cold Zone instead. Or if you just want a movie where the same thing happens but they don't burn the books, watch Cold Zone. Watch Cold Zone.
I'd give it a 3. I'd give it a 3. I think it was less than okay, but it wasn't abysmal like some of the other movies we've seen.
That is fair.
How
But
about?
that is why those ones go on the negative side of the scale.
That's right. What do you say?
We'll average it to a 1.5. So there you go. There's Cold Zone. There is our opinion as 2 degreed meteorologists. Again, if you like what you saw, and by that we mean our reaction, not the movie, leave a like and subscribe down below so you never miss the next one. If you would like to help us support the channel and our therapy sessions that we need after watching movies such as this, check out our Patreon page, which is also linked down in the description box right next to our social media. Follow us over on Facebook and Instagram if you want to see us live reacting to movies such as this, and we also post our weather adventures over there. We kid around a lot, but we do have to say thank you so much for your suggestions. We have a long list of movies to react to. Some of them are great, some of them make for great videos. We'll leave it at that. Comment down below if you have seen Cold Zone. What is your thought? What is your opinion? Until next time, I'm Kayla.
And I'm Jim.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you at the next Meteorology Monday. This is terrible.
This is phenomenal. Just keep going.